Hello and welcome back to the Kent Morning Show, live here on KMTV.
It's just gone 8:30. You're waking up with us this morning. Now, you might be joining us for the morning show, but stick around for another hour because at 9:30 we'll have a new episode of the Kent Film Club at its brand new time.
It's the show where we discuss guests' favourite films and find out what that says about them. We've both been on it, had Chris dissect exactly what our 4 favourite films mean about us. I don't know if it's all good, but Chris joins us now. Chris, was it all good?
I'm watching you, a dramatic pause, I'm watching you in the morning and just thinking, this is amazing, you know, and even more opportunity to talk about film.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Chris, thank you very much for joining us. It's great to have you on. Now, tell us, let's take it right back. For our new viewers on the Kent Morning Show, where did Film Club start? Because you have an absolute love of film. I've never known anybody to love cinema more than you do.
The funny thing is, I started late, because when I was at school, everyone in the playground, and this shows my age as well, was talking about Ghostbusters or Beverly Hills Cop or Indiana Jones. Of course, Indiana Jones is still out there. But back in the 80s, you know, I was somebody who listened to the radio a lot, would listen to all the great film soundtracks, but wouldn't go and watch the films for whatever reason. Then I made up for it with bells on, you know, in the decade since. So it's like film tells you something about an era. It tells you about our, if you like, our cultural mythology, the things that drive us, the things that excite us, the things that repel us as well. You know, people say, I'm not watching that genre of film. And so doing the Kent Film Club was a way of building on that and also finding out a lot about, you know, why we like the films that we do. What makes us so excited?
I would love to see an episode of the Kent Film Club where you're the guest. I don't know if that's possible, if we can maybe clone you and have you kind of interviewing yourself, but I'd love to know what your 4 favourite films are. That would be interesting. Have you got a favourite guest?
Well, the two of you, of course.
There we go. Good answer.
Otherwise
Good
you'd be
answer.
much back out that
You know,
the gallery, aren't
the
you,
funny
please?
thing is, there are films that haven't been picked that I might, I mean, as you both know, condensing your choices to 4 is an impossible task, because you're thinking, you know, you do 4 and you think, well, there's at least 4 others that you wish you'd included. But no, shall I try to mention some of the films that have never been picked that really surprised me?
Go for it.
No one's done Die Hard.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
No one's done The Godfather. No one has done, do you know, a few surprises. Shawshank Redemption, which often comes up as
Great
you know,
film.
the greatest film. The Green Mile has been in there, but not Shawshank.
I have a sort of thought on that perhaps people aren't picking these films because they don't want to be too obvious and too mainstream. If they're coming on a show to talk about films, they don't want to pick the obvious ones out there. They want to try and be a little bit interesting with
But
it.
you know, Star Wars has appeared a few times.
That was one of mine, yeah.
You picked one of those. And, you know, quite a few classics. You know, Harry Potter, but of course not always the same ones. And we've had some sort of like Star Wars Episode 5, or, you know, not necessarily the ones that you'd think people would go for. So we've had a few people, I think actually Gabriel was on once, and he said, can I have all 3 Back to the Future films? Like, well, no, we need
to...
we have to pick one of them.
I wondered, over the sort of time that you've been doing the show and all the guests you've had, what film has been the best recommendation that perhaps you wouldn't have otherwise watched, that someone's come on and told you that is one of their favourite films and you've thought, oh, I hadn't even thought of that, and you've loved it?
Well, sometimes the films that I've never watched, or film that I sort of put off watching for whatever reason. I'll tell you actually a film that no one has picked, but which has come up more than once as a film that somebody wants to watch, which has made me want to rewatch it, is A Few Good Men. Somebody, you know, twice somebody has said, I almost picked that one. And of course, it's a film that I know quite well. And, you know, the big courtroom scene with Jack Nicholson, you know, you can't handle the truth, and did you order the code red? So I'm you know, waiting for someone to pick that just so we can, you know, have a full 5 minutes devoted to that. So it's almost like those sort of times when you're so close, you're on the precipice of talking about a film, but the conversation goes somewhere else.
I'll be honest, straight over my head with A Few Good Men, because it's kind of annoying with me with films, because I do love films, I really, really do, but there's so many big ones that I haven't managed to check off. I once had a big film poster. It was like, you know, those kind of scratch-off ones. It was like the 100 movie posters that you have to watch. I'm still only halfway through. Die Hard is still a film that I haven't seen, despite, you know, some of the big quotes and the debate that comes up every year. Is it a Christmas film or not? So are there any big ones that you're still to tick off? Like some of those big names? Probably not, I would imagine.
Well, there are some. I mean, Patton I haven't seen. I saw The Sound of Music on the big screen a few years ago, but I was, you know, probably like mid-40s or later, and that's come up a few times on the programme. We had one week two separate guests who went for Wisnell and I And they were, completely independently, and they're quite a niche sort of film from the 80s. So it's kind of nice. And Barbie, not surprisingly, has come up, I think, 4 times so far on Kent Film Club.
Yeah, I know we spoke about Barbie. I wasn't too keen on it for a whole plethora of reasons. It has a good message, but I thought it's a message we have heard, so I struggled to think what it had done a bit differently, I suppose. But obviously, an important message. Well, you mentioned there quotes and catchphrases. Now, audience, please do join in.
We've got it up on the screen
your
at the moment.
answers. Yeah, Chris Deacy is here to test our film knowledge, but it's catchphrases you've got for us.
Well, I've got some quotes, and of course, you're allowed to confer.
We do love a good quiz.
And I thought, now, because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, I thought I have to get a few in. So
Okay.
there shouldn't be any surprises, but shall I go through some of these and we'll see?
Go for it.
Okay, the really obvious, if you don't get this, then, shame. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Dirty Dancing.
Yes, there we are. Yes, okay.
That's probably the only one I'm going to get right.
There we are. You got it. Okay. Well, I'll give you one now. You may not recognise this quote, but you'll be familiar with this as a Valentine's Day film. Destiny is something we've invented because we can't stand the fact that everything that happens is accidental. Give you a clue. It mentions an American city, and if like you, if you have trouble getting off to, I'm almost giving the word away, sleep.
Awake.
Sleep. If you can't sleep, you'll sleep less. Sleepless in.
Anyone at home getting this? Help us out.
Sleepless in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yay!
With Meg
Seattle.
Ryan.
No, I've not watched
Tom
that, but
Hanks.
I've heard.
Okay.
Again, I'm a big
Okay.
film fan who hasn't seen many films.
Well, okay. The next film is one that has come up, I think, 3 times, including by Oliver from KMTV.
Okay, yeah.
I came here tonight because when you realise you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
Is this the? You know it?
It's got 2 names in the title,
No.
And it's got Meg Ryan and, shall I give you a clue, Billy Crystal.
Okay, no, not what I was thinking.
Set around sort of New Year.
I bet people are
made in
screaming at
1989.
home, shouting at their televisions that we can't get.
That's not necessarily the
Any
most
guesses
obvious
from our
quote
camera
from the film.
operators? No, nothing. Everyone's shaking their heads.
Okay, when
Harry met Sally.
Okay, another one that I haven't
this
seen.
is terrible.
This is really bad.
Terribly embarrassing.
there is another famous quote from that film, but I'm not going to say that at 8:30 in the
Okay.
morning. Okay, now this is a Christmas film.
Okay.
but
Oh, you should get this.
I do love
You'll
Christmas.
know this one.
Okay.
The trouble with being the Prime Minister's sister is it does put your life into rather harsh perspective. What did my brother do today? He stood up and fought for his country. What did I do? I made a papier-mâché lobster head.
Yes, Love Actually.
Yeah,
That is one of. I have a list of Christmas films every year. That is probably number
That is one
one
of
in
your
terms of
favourite films.
have to watch it, tick
Now,
it off.
the next one, this is a real giveaway because there's another film in this series coming out today. It is a truth universally acknowledged that when one part of your life starts going okay, another falls spectacularly to pieces.
No, I don't know the quote,
good
but
quote.
the fact that you said it was coming out today, could this be the Bridget Jones?
It is.
movie?
That's from the first Bridget
That's from the
Jones's
first one.
Diary.
Right.
A classic.
So,
Is anyone tallying up the points in the gallery? Who's winning?
Well, we're not doing very well
No, no one's
overall. I
winning.
don't think it's
Yeah,
worth,
they-
We'll be
probably not
watching
worth it.
the
Yeah.
They did well on the second
tonight,
question they
yeah.
gave up.
Okay, now this one. Okay, this is a real Halloween. How interesting! I'm getting. Well, no, it's not. Getting my seat. I suppose for some people, Valentine's Day might be.
Yeah. well,
Okay, woman goes into the shop. She says, I was in here yesterday. You wouldn't wait on me. The salesman says, oh, you work on commission, right? Oh, yes. Big mistake. Big, huge. I have to go shopping now.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I know this film because they think she's not got money,
Yes.
but she does. Okay, I can't remember it.
Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman.
Oh, they're singing it in my ear.
Sam Roy Orbison,
I
yeah.
just sung.
Okay, now this is, I mentioned horror. Now this is when a date goes completely wrong. You play fair with me, I'll play fair with you. I'll give you a clue. It might involve a rabbit.
Oh, I can't
Glenn
think of the name.
Close and Michael Douglas.
The Tea Party.
Yeah,
No.
Fatal
Attraction.
Yeah.
Ah.
So that's
This is rude. We
that's-
set ourselves up to
I know.
fail.
Okay, now actually, we have to have a Kent connection.
Oh, great.
Now this is not a Valentine's
Bring
Day
it back.
film at all. Okay, the lead actress in this film was born in Ramsgate. Okay,
Oh.
I'll give you a clue. Mike Lee was the director. You've got to laugh, ain't you, sweetheart? Else you'd cry. It's Brenda Blethyn, and she was Oscar nominated in 1997.
Chris, we're going to leave the film expertise to you. I think
Yeah.
we'll leave it to
Secrets.
questioning you.
Shall we see?
Go on. What?
Secrets and Lies.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's a new Whiteley film, Hard Truths, with Marianne John Baptiste in that. Okay, we've got about 4 more if we've got time.
Yeah.
Now, this is nothing to do with Valentine. This is probably, definitely, if I had to pick a film on Kent Film Club, this would be one of my 4. That's
Should have asked
funny.
him at the
That
start.
plane's dusting crops where there ain't no crops. It's a Hitchcock classic.
Oh.
Famous scene involving an aeroplane which is flying towards Cary Grant.
Someone from our gallery said they know it.
Go on.
Give us a tip.
If you think of a compass, think of an
They've let
And
us
they
down.
couldn't actually remember it.
Live on TV.
north by northwest.
North by north.
Yeah,
Okay.
famous. So there's the scene with the crop duster heading
Yeah.
towards Cary Grant. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Chris,
I
think-
hope this is entertaining
Now-
everybody at home at the very
how
least.
about I'm going to pick films now that you've both picked.
Okay, great. Here we
Oh,
go.
this
Here we
is
go.
good.
How long have we got?
Yeah.
We've got
1 minute,
time
go.
for.
Okay,
We've got
okay.
1 minute.
An
One each.
idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious. The smallest seed of an idea can grow. It can grow to define or destroy you.
Oh, this is Inception.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and then
Okay.
one of mine.
One of my
I
favourites.
knew it was a great mistake for a man like me to fall in love. Leonardo DiCaprio says that in
In Gatsby?
Yeah, great game.
There we go.
yeah, of course.
You could have picked a more famous
Fantastic
quote from Gatsby.
And we've got time for
That's
one
supposed to be
more.
easy.
Very quickly.
What's
This-
the
Yeah, go for it
This
quickly.
is a film that was shot at Chatham Dockyard. Your
few.
days of fighting for the so-called greater good are over. It goes on. You need to pick a side.
Is this Les Mis?
No.
But that's a similar one.
That
was-
indeed.
I think that's one of them.
Okay. Dead Reckoning Part 1, but it's from the series of. I saw this 13 times at the cinema.
You got
You
10,
have to tell us.
9.
Impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah, there we go. Mission Impossible.
we-
Right, Mission
terrible.
Impossible. I didn't know that was filmed.
We're
just around the corner.
going to revise after this, after the morning show. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did better at home. Chris, thank you.
Thank you very much. See you later.